You got a raise this January, a 2.8% raise from Social Security. But did you actually keep all of it? The answer might surprise you. Social Security's cost of living adjustment for 2026 is 2.8%. That means 71 million Americans got a raise in January. On paper, I am Warren Jr., and today I'm going to show you exactly what that 2.8% raise looks like in real dollars and how much of it you actually get to keep. Let us start with the basic math. The average Social Security retirement benefit in 2025 was $2,015 per month. With a 2.8% raise, that becomes $2,071. That is a gain of $56 per month, or $672 for the full year. Not life-changing, but real money, and money you have earned. Now married couples fared slightly better. The average combined benefit rose by about $88 per month, bringing the typical household Social Security income to $3,208 monthly. Here is where it gets interesting. Your Social Security increase did not arrive in full. Before it even hit your bank account, Medicare reached in and took its share back. In November 2025, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services announced the 2026 Medicare Part B premium. It rose from $185 to $202.90 per month. That is a 9.7% increase in Medicare Part B alone, nearly 3.5 times larger than your 2.8% Social Security raise. Let that sink in for a moment. For a third consecutive year, Medicare Part B premiums have risen faster than the Social Security cost of living adjustment. 2024 6% premium rise against 3.2% raise. 2025 5.8 versus 2.5. So what does this mean for your actual take-home amount? The math is simple. You gained $56 from the raise. Medicare took back $17.90. Your real net gain is approximately $38.10 per month. $38.10. That is what the average retiree kept from the 2026 raise after Medicare's cut. Just over one-third of the advertised increase actually reached your wallet. And this is the average situation. For retirees with lower benefit amounts, say under $1,000 a month, the Medicare increase could consume their entire cost of living adjustment. There is actually a legal protection for this. It is called the hold harmless rule. If your Medicare premium increase would exceed your Social Security cost of living gain, your net check cannot go below what you received the previous year. In 2026, the hold harmless protection applies only to retirees with a monthly benefit of approximately $640 or less. For most retirees, the standard premium increase applies fully. Now there is a bigger picture that most people miss when they look at the cost of living adjustment. The raise you get is calculated using something called the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners, not seniors. The Consumer Price Index for workers tracks the costs that working-age people face like gasoline and public transportation. It does not heavily weight the things seniors actually spend on: healthcare, housing, prescription drugs. Studies show that if the cost of living adjustment used a senior-specific index called the Consumer Price Index for the elderly, it would typically be about 0.2 to 0.3% higher each year. Over 30 years of compounding, that difference amounts to approximately 3% more in lifetime benefits. Congress has not adopted the senior index. Advocates have pushed for it since the 1990s. Here is something else most retirees do not know. The Social Security cost of living adjustment could actually make your tax bill worse even as the raise itself feels modest. Here is why. The income thresholds that trigger taxes on Social Security benefits have not been adjusted for inflation since 1983. They are frozen at $34,000 for single filers and $44,000 for couples. In 1983, only 10% of Social Security recipients paid taxes on their benefits. Today, that number is approaching 50%, and it grows every year as cost of living adjustments push more people over the fixed threshold. This is called bracket creep. Your benefit goes up slightly from the raise. But if it pushes your total income over the threshold, you suddenly owe tax on up to 50% or 85% of your entire Social Security benefit. So for some retirees, the 2.8% cost of living adjustment is not a simple raise. It is a raise with at least two bills attached: Medicare and the Internal Revenue Service. Now let me tell you about the group that had it worst. Higher income retirees, those earning above $109,000 as a single filer, face what is called an IRMAA surcharge on top of the standard Medicare premium. At the first IRMAA tier income above $109,000, your Medicare Part B premium jumps to $284.10 per month. That is $81 more than the standard rate. At the highest IRMAA tier household income above $750,000, the Part B premium reaches $689.90 per month per person. That is nearly 3.5 times the standard rate. For these higher income retirees, a 2.8% cost of living adjustment adding roughly $56 means almost nothing against a Medicare premium that could consume hundreds of dollars from their check every month. Here is the thing about IRMAA that catches almost everyone off guard. Your surcharge in 2026 is based on your income from 2 years ago, 2024, not what you earn today. So if you had a high income year in 2024, perhaps a large Roth conversion, a required minimum distribution, the sale of a property, you are paying elevated Medicare premiums right now, even if your income has since dropped. The good news, if your income dropped due to a life-changing event, you can appeal your IRMAA surcharge. You file a form called SAY-44 with the Social Security Administration to request a reduction based on current income. A successful IRMAA appeal can reduce your Medicare premium by hundreds of dollars per month, often far more than anything the cost of living adjustment delivers. This is one of the most underused tools available to retirees. Now let me step back and give you the bigger picture. The cost of living adjustment has been automatically tied to inflation since 1975. Before that, Congress had to vote on raises manually and often did not. Over the last decade, the average cost of living adjustment has been 3.1% per year. The high was 8.7% in 2023 due to post-pandemic inflation. The low was 1.3% in 2021. The 2026 raise of 2.8% is close to the long-run average. It is not a windfall. It is not a setback. It is a modest inflation tracking adjustment in a year where inflation was also moderate. But here is what the headline number always hides. Even when the raise is close to average, your actual purchasing power as a retiree may still be declining because the things you buy are getting more expensive faster than the index measures. According to the Senior Citizens League, retirees have lost approximately 36% of their Social Security purchasing power since the year 2000. The cost of living adjustment has not kept pace with what older Americans actually spend. This is not a partisan issue. Democrats and Republicans both acknowledge that the consumer price index used for the cost of living adjustment does not perfectly reflect what retirees spend. Congress simply has not acted to fix it. So what should you actually do with this information? Let me give you 3 specific practical actions you can take right now to protect your income from this Medicare COLA squeeze. Action 1. Check your IRMAA status every year in December when you receive your Medicare premium notice for the following year. If your income dropped due to any life change, file the SA-44 appeal form immediately. Action 2. If you are approaching Medicare eligibility, plan your income for the 2 years before you turn 65. The income you show in those 2 years will directly determine your Medicare premiums for years to come. Action 3. Manage large income events carefully. Roth conversions, property sales, and required minimum distributions can all push you into IRMAA territory. Space them out across tax years to stay below the thresholds where possible. Now let me tie this all together with a real example. Margaret is 71 years old, single. Her Social Security benefit in 2025 was $2,000 per month. Her income was below the IRMAA threshold. In January 2026, Margaret's benefit increased by 2.8%, adding $56. Her new gross benefit is $2,056. So far, so good. But the Medicare Part B premium also rose from $185 to $202.90. That is $17.90 automatically deducted from her Social Security check. Margaret's actual net gain is $38.10 per month, not $56. And if her income in 2024 happened to be slightly higher, say, from a one-time distribution, she could face the IRMAA surcharge on top. Margaret's situation is the typical 2026 retiree story. The headline says 2.8%. The reality is about 1.9% net after Medicare, and that assumes no IRMAA. The takeaway is not that Social Security is failing you. The takeaway is that you need to understand the full picture, not just the headline number, to actually plan your retirement income effectively. Let me give you the 3 things I want you to remember from today. First, your cost of living adjustment in 2026 was 2.8% gross, but Medicare took back nearly a third of it automatically. Second, the cost of living adjustment formula uses an inflation measure designed for workers, not seniors. Healthcare and housing, the things retirees spend most on, are not weighted heavily enough. Third, if your income crosses the IRMAA threshold, Medicare premiums can consume your entire cost of living adjustment, and then some. Proactive income planning is the only protection you have. In our next video, we are going deep on Medicare Advantage versus Original Medicare in 2026 and the changes that could affect your coverage and your wallet right now. Subscribe to Warren Jr. Financial and hit the bell so you never miss a video. The retirement information we publish every week on this channel could protect your income for decades. Share this video with anyone you know who is on Social Security. Most retirees got their January statement and celebrated the raise without ever knowing how much Medicare quietly took back. Leave your question in the comments. Tell me, did you know how much of your 2026 raise went back to Medicare? I read every comment, every single week. I am Warren Jr. This is Warren Jr. Financial, protecting your money one video at a time. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and is not financial, tax, or legal advice. Always consult a qualified financial professional before making retirement decisions. Warren Jr. Financial is not a registered investment advisor. The content here is general financial education, not personalized advice for your individual situation.